Welcome, welcome. Ah, Today, I had no idea really what I want to talk about today until probably just an hour ago, I would say. And I titled this Energy is Everything, or Everything is Energy. Either way, I guess. Sounds better. Energy, I don't even know. Everything is energy, right? So I was just walking the other day through my office, and my one of my business partner goes, "Hey, everything good?" Yeah, everything's great. Why? What's up? He goes, "You're quiet lately," and just caused me to reflect. I go, "Yeah, I guess so, maybe." And I'm just at peace. I'm actually at a very good place. I'm very happy. I'm relaxed, and uh, I don't know. Maybe they're not used to seeing that, so out of concern they ask a question. But overall, I reflect. I go, "Yeah, no, everything's really good." And not that it's good all the time. We have our moments, as I shared with you last week through my videos. Of course, we all have bumpy times, and it's not always roses and butterflies. But overall, I'm good. So that kind of brings me into talking about energy today. And I work hard to make sure I'm in that state. I'm relaxed. I'm at peace, because that's important to me now. I'm at a time in my life right now where um, I don't really have energy for anything that uh, kind of goes against those feelings. If it doesn't help me get to where I need to go in life, it is almost like a blockage or weight. Or if you picture a river, a free flowing river, you put a big stone in the middle, you kind of start seeing a different pattern, and that's kind of how I felt uh, for many, many, many years in my life on an energy level. So I've worked hard to clear all this stuff out so that I just have a pretty easy, free flowing life, right? And it's fun, right? So that brings me on today's topic. Why I want to talk about this? There's this book I'm reading, and I pulled this up. It is called An Attitude and Behavior Chart. So you can change the way you're thinking, and it leads to certain actions. However, sometimes it's not easy to pick that stuff out, okay? Because to go internal, to meditate, to figure out how I'm feeling, what am I thinking about, what's life all about, is everything aligned? It takes a lot of practice. It takes time to get there. However, understanding your outside world is a reflection of inside world, sometimes stuff that happens on the outside would actually tell you what to look for. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Let's say there's anger. Okay, let's say that. Okay, or temper, or display of revengeful actions. Okay, so these are things that you can see. Okay, I got angry, my temper flared up. What's happened? What's going on? So those behaviors will link to a feeling or an attitude or an energy. So that actually leads to anger, leads to guilt, or revengeful resentment leads to anxiety, right? So if I lost my temper and I got angry, and when you do, then I know there's some sort of guilt or anxiety that I'm dealing with, and I need to get rid of that, because long term that stuff doesn't serve you, right? I'm gonna give credit to this person. It's called Louise Hay. One of my other posts we talk about share the books that you're reading, and this one's a cool book, and they have a whole symptoms list on everything that you feel will link to a certain disease. Okay, so if someone's battling some sort of disease, you can actually link that back to a feeling they have inside that caused that to come out. So disease is a symptom. It's stuff that you can see and feel. Very similar to temper or anger or resentment. These are all symptoms of stuff that you can see and feel. It all links to a an attitude. Okay, so I just link these things together. As you read and you have all these resources, you can link them together, right? So I'm going through this right here. I go, man, let's fly through this a little bit. I go, um, let's say body odor, for example. If you know someone who has body odor, um, the attitude of that is dislike of self. or fear of others. Pretty neat, right? And it shows up in the form of body odor. Or cancer. That's such a thing that's all around nowadays. So let's see what leads to that, right? Is long-standing resentment. Oh my goodness, look at that. Resentment is anxiety and guilt, right? Deep secret of grief eating away at self, and you're carrying hatred. So someone who has cancer probably has long-standing resentment or carrying a lot of hatred. So if I know that leads to cancer, and recently I'm, had a flared up temper and anger, I don't want that in my life. So I need to learn how to get rid of that, right? And for me, what it's saying is guilt. So I need to go internally and work on what's this guilt all about? Where is it coming from? And break through that. And let's take this. That's the beauty of technology now. Let's go through this. And if I put Control Find on my symptoms list here and I type in guilt, first thing that came up here, look, is alcoholism. All right? Guilt will lead to that. Self-rejection. Man, that's crazy. You guys know I enjoy my drinks. Right? So, you gotta look at these things. Right? What else? Constipation, guilt. I'm okay there, guys. Just so you know. All right. What else? Hay fever. Man, how many times have you guys logged on a video and you see me with my allergies all the time? Well, hay fever is emotional congestion, right? Fear of the calendar, a belief of persecution, and guilt. So hay fever comes from guilt. So it's all linked, right? You see that sometimes I'm angry, I might lose my temper, that leads to guilt. Guilt also leads to all these things that are showing up in my life. So I need to go and meditate and work through that. Wherever it's from, it's not serving me. I got to work on getting rid of that, right? So everything is energy. It's so neat. I came across this book. Someone referred it to me. Look at this, baldness. Baldness. Tension. Fear, trying to control everything. Anybody bald out there? You control freak? Maybe hit us up. Let me know. All right? And bad breath, anger, revengeful thoughts. Oh my goodness. Might have some bad breath lately. All right? Kidney chat. Look at this blood pressure. Let's take a look at this blood pressure. This one's crazy too. Right? Blood pressure. Depends on if it's high or low. If it's high blood pressure, is long-standing emotional problems not solved. If it's low, is lack of love as a child, man. Go give someone a hug. Their blood pressure is going to increase. All right. So isn't it so neat? Like I come across these material and cause me to look into it a little bit more, and understanding that everything external is the mirror of internal, and it's easier to pay attention to things that are happening around us to tell us what's going on inside. Right? It's an indication of what we need to work on. So that's kind of my journey throughout the last week, is I just pull out these resources again that I have on hand all the time, and I do refer back to them. I don't have this stuff memorized. So when things aren't exactly aligned, I feel there's some sort of a blockage. Life is not really free flowing. I don't have that level of happiness. Something's going on. Okay. Now, and then I look at it. I go, Kev, your temper flared up. You're like, okay, guilt. Okay, guilt. I could look at this too. It could lead to a lot of these different things too. Okay, maybe spend some time and work on that. Right? Now, let's go on the other side. There's a lot of good things too. Right? Let's take a look at this. Let's say if behavior of generosity, that's optimism. Right? So someone who's very optimistic is also very generous. So you can see a lot of things. Laughter and smiling. Someone who's laughing all the time is satisfied. Right? Someone who's joyful all the time, they have mastered humility. Right? Someone who shows compassion has mastered the attitude of faith. Right? So there's a lot of good behaviors that link to positive attitudes also. Right? So it's our responsibility, it's up to us that when things don't go well in our lives, we need to link that back to what kind of attitude or feeling do I encompass for this to happen in my life, right? And then we got to replace those attitude and feelings that bring these negative symptoms into our lives or negative behaviors into our lives, and we got to replace those with something more positive, right? So, man, I was meditating this morning, and it's a fun time in here when you start unlocking, infinite possibilities, and I start tackling some of these things that I didn't like in my life, um, and I'm gonna start purging it, start getting rid of it. And on the inside, I can start by letting go, just acknowledge that it's there. It took its course. Things happen the way it happens. Uh, it no longer serves me anymore, and I come to peace with it. Right? I don't think it'll ever leave. I think these attitudes and feelings is always going to be a mixture of things depending on what's going on in your life. So it's not like you can. I don't think so anyway. To get rid of guilt 100% forever. Possibly, maybe that's what people go for in the highest level of enlightenment, right? Until then, just I just know that when it pops up, how to be at peace with it, how to have a different relationship with it, and how to let that go, right? So that's kind of what I've been working on the last week is that, and it's a continuous thing, although probably more attention to it over the last week to 10 days because certain of these attitude and feelings had popped up a little bit more apparent. So I put more time into it. It's kind of like maintenance, though. If we focus on our meditation all the time, um, maybe it doesn't flare up like that in big ways, right? That's why we have our morning and evening routines, right? That's why the morning routines, we always say read your goals, right? Always do a gratitude journal, maybe send some messages to who you're grateful for today. Exercise your IMs. These are all things that you can do to set into motion the right feelings and attitudes, right? So possibly if you have a good morning and evening routine, then this stuff would be a lot more, I guess, predictable or a lot more stable, or as opposed to the ups and downs, right? It's not like anger flares up. Okay, I should meditate more, right? Maybe if meditation was just something all the time, then the anger won't show up. So that's kind of my reflection for the week is to all these things that happen around me, is to maybe recheck my morning routine, recheck my evening routine, and work on that. So I don't know. Like I said, I didn't really have anything planned to talk to you guys today. My mind was all over the place. Although it settled on this topic, it settled on sharing with you guys what's happening to me right now, and sharing with you guys on how important it is for you to go inside and look and get rid of all the feelings and emotions that aren't serving you before it shows up in the actual physical world, either in like anger or temper or anything along these lines. For me, anyway, maybe even to some sort of a illness or sickness, and we want to be thoughtful of that and prevent that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what's on my mind today. I have no idea. Hope it helps. I hope you guys got some value from it. Comment, maybe share some stuff if you like. Attitude is everything, man. Energy is everything. So be mindful of that. If there are some action steps just to take away from today, is maybe revisit your morning routine, revisit your evening routine, and make sure that's in tip-top shape, so that throughout the day you don't have to worry about these things if those routines are in place. So maybe just take that away, okay? If you like it, hit the like button. If you want to comment and share some stuff on what's on your mind, we can have a dialogue about this and chat about this topic. You can comment on there, and please share it. You never know who it leads to, what kind of other conversation it leads to, or who needs to hear the message, okay? So like, comment, share. We appreciate you guys being here, okay? Have a good day.